All right, welcome back to math class today. We are moving on to a new topic, and I am excited. I'm tired of fractions and decimals. I'm sure you're tired of fractions and decimals.
No.
But you all learned a lot. So I was impressed with how we did on our decimals quiz. You guys really did a nice job. So you should know your tenths and your hundredths now, and I think we're solid on that. So we're moving on to geometry. Does anyone know what that means?
No.
Geometry? We have a geometry box on our morning work. We're blurting out too much this morning. Cadence?
Shapes.
It's all about shapes. Chloe?
Did we do geometry last year?
You probably got to at least some. So anytime we talk about angles and like obtuse angles, triangles, shapes, all of that is geometry.
It's a type of math.
It is a type of math. And when you're in high school, you will take an entire math course all about geometry. It was one of my favorite classes. So today we're going to learn about perimeter. And I know this is a review, but it's been a while for a lot of us. Just so I kind of have an idea, can you raise your hand, any of you, and tell me if you remember working on perimeter in third grade before we left for COVID? Josiah?
For like a few weeks, and then for 1 week, and then COVID happened.
Okay, so you started to talk about it. Noah, is that what you remember?
I think we worked on it for a little bit longer.
Okay.
We did?
So I'm thinking, friends at home and friends in class, I'm thinking that we started it last year. We didn't get a whole lot through it. So today is all review about what you should already know. Okay, if you are caught up, just stick with me. It's good review. If you're unsure about this, pay close attention. All right, so solving perimeter problems. First of all, before we start reading this book, does anyone remember what perimeter even means? Perimeter. Hayden?
The outing of basically a house or something.
Okay, it is the distance around something. So before I even begin, if I wanted to find the perimeter of Alex's Chromebook, okay, I would measure all my four sides. Okay, I could do that with a ruler or something, and then I add them all together to see how long it takes to get all the way around my computer. Could I measure how far it takes to get all the way around my desk? Okay. What about how far it takes to get around my classroom? Could I get the perimeter of my classroom? What about the perimeter of that bulletin board? Could we find the distance all the way around it? Okay, so on your page, you've got a lot of space next to here, okay? So get your pencils ready. We're going to write down what perimeter means first. So please write the word. And it kind of looks like Perry, P-E-R-I, and then meter. So that's how you spell it. Perimeter. And all that perimeter means, we should all be writing this down. The distance around, put that in capital letters because it's very important. The distance around a shape. So we're not worried about the inside of the shape. That's area, and we'll get to that later this week. Today is only perimeter. So I want you to draw a tiny little rectangle, or yeah, it can be a rectangle, right beneath this. Now I need someone to pick a number between 1 and 10, and that's going to be our length of our rectangle. Madeline?
9.
9. So everyone, please label the length on the top and bottom with a 9. All right, now my width. Width is the short end. Noah, what should that be? It has to be smaller than a 9.
6.
6. All right, put a 6 on both sides. Now let's just turn on our brains a minute. If we know that perimeter is the distance around the outside edge of a shape, how could I find how much is around the outside of my shape? Cadence?
You add them.
I just add them up. Okay? Do not make perimeter harder than it is. So can someone else repeat? How would I find perimeter? Hayden?
The distance around the shape, so around that rectangle.
Okay. Do I have to include all my sides?
No. Yes.
We have to include all of our sides. Right? Make sure we raise our hand. So I have 2 9s. Can I do mental math to add those together in my head? What is 9 plus 9, or 9 times 2? Josiah?
18.
18. All right, and what is 2 groups of 6? Emma?
12.
12. So if I add 18 plus 12, I will get my perimeter, which is exactly 30. So that is all we are doing. Perimeter is the distance around your shape. You add all of the sides together, and that is your answer, okay? So now let's take a look at this. I need a reader for this yellow box up here. Zoe, nice and loud. And that guy's name is Keegan.
Keegan is building a rectangle play area in his backyard for his dog. The length of the rectangle is 30 feet and the
Width.
width is 24 feet. What amount of fence does Keegan need to buy to make the play area?
Okay, so he wants to make a play area. Here's our picture so we don't have to draw the whole thing. Now picture, this is where the doggy's going to play. I'm going to actually draw a quick little dog in here so I don't forget. Yeah. And plus they're just so cute. Looks kind of like a pig. Yeah. I don't know, this dog's weird. It's okay.
Oh my God.
Okay, we got a little doggy. Now, he needs a fence to go all the way around him. So if I wanted to go to the store, how in the world would I figure out how much fence I need to go around my dog's cage? Now, this is real life math. You might have to build a fence for your dog someday. And you don't want to buy more fence than what you need. That's frustrating. So Hayden, what do you think? How many feet of fence will I need? How can I figure that out?
Well, you add 30 plus 30, which is equals 60.
Wait a minute. Where'd you get the second 30?
The top is also red, so I'm guessing that's a
Oh, she's right. On a rectangle, are these sides always going to be the same length? Yep. So everybody, pencils. First thing I would do, if they only label two sides, go ahead and label the other two while you're getting used to this so you don't forget a number. So if this side's going to be 30 feet, what about this side on my right? Emma? 24. It's the same as the left. All right, now Hayden was right. If we add up all of our sides, will that tell us how much total fence we need? Josiah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and do so. They're doing it down here, so we don't actually have to add this one. So we have 30 feet plus 24 feet plus 30 feet plus 24 feet. We all get that so far? It's all of our sides, adding them up. Hayden?
Which it should be, if you add 24 plus 24 and 30 plus 30, it's 60 and 48.
Okay. I have not added it up yet. Let's continue looking at this. They're just showing us different ways to think about it now. So, one second, Angie, I'll be right with you. Let's look at model it first. So model it. You can use words to help solve perimeter problems. So, I know words is probably our least favorite thing, but it's still good to think it through. It says in the rectangle, the length is 30 feet, the width is 24 feet. There are two sides that have a length of 30 feet, two sides that have a length of 24 feet. So if I add my length, my length, my width, I will get my total answer. Okay? So if you have to explain how to solve perimeter, can you use some of these words? You guys got to wake up. We can use these words, right? So think about how they worded that, right? There's two sides the same length, two sides the same width. We add them all together to find our perimeter.
I solved it. I solved it, and it's 108.
All right, hold on. All right. Emma.
Yeah, it's 108.
All right, well, we're getting there. All right, so now we're solving the problem on the previous page. I haven't even started solving. We just took a look. What formula can we use to find the amount of fence Keegan needs? There's two different ways to think about it. What do you think, Angie?
I don't know that, but on the other page, I don't get how you got 30.
The 30 was on the bottom of the rectangle. You see that?
I just don't get like how you got the 12 and the 18 and then you added them together to get 30.
All right, well, that was just our first example. Let's walk through this whole one together and then see if that clears it up, okay? Emma?
For this, I added it in my head and I got 136.
Okay. All right. So, all right, do you guys have questions or you wanting to do this? All right, hold on. We have to do all this before we find the answer. So my question was that no one raised their hand to answer. What formula can I use? Oh, okay, you got a formula.
So you could either use addition or multiplication, but so addition is obvious, but if you use multiplication, you would do 30 times 2 and then 24 times 2, and then you'd also have to do addition again.
Correct. So why don't we, for this first one, let's just do addition, because that's the most basic, easy, everyone can do it. Quentin?
You called the square a rectangle?
Well, I apologize. All right. So first, what formula can we use? We're going to add, okay? So I want everyone to put P equals. This is our formula, okay? Everyone is writing down. Shh, boys in the back. Pencils in hand. P, what do you think P stands for? Perimeter. Perimeter equals length plus width plus width. Okay, this is just one way to do it, but this way always works. So if you like this way, you can stick to it. Now we can fill some of this in. We don't know the perimeter. We got to leave the P. Do we know the length of the rectangle on the previous page? Everyone look at your rectangle. I don't have it up here. What is the length of the rectangle? I've seen probably half of you actually look at it. Emma?
30.
30. Okay, raise your hand if you don't see how we found the length of the rectangle is 30. All right. Everyone sees that? Angie, you see that? Did you look at the picture? The length of the rectangle is 30. Does that make sense? Did you look at the picture? Okay, hold on a second. All right. So our length is 30. And we have two of them, the top and the bottom. All right, what about my width? We have to look at the shape. Shh. Cadence, what's my width? 24. So we have two of those, right, on the right and the left. So here's a good tip. When you're finding the perimeter, you should count how many sides your shape has, and that should be how many numbers you've got, right? So it's a rectangle, it's got 4 sides. I have 4 numbers, so we're on the right track. Last step, we need to add them together however you want to, okay? Everyone's got different strategies. You might want to stack them all. So if you wanted, you could do 30, 30, 24, 24, and add them that way. There's a lot of other ways to do it. You could combine your 30s into a 60, combine your 24s into a 48, and add those two if you'd like, okay? So however you want to figure it out, everyone right now, figure out the total perimeter. Do it on your own paper. Check with me. And we kind of solved the doll in number 2, and they want the answer in number 3, but it's okay. All right, I'm seeing some thumbs ups. However you added up your 4 numbers, if you got 108 feet of fence, you did it correctly. All right, at this point, does anyone have a question? So someone sum it up for me. If I say find the perimeter of this shape, what is your strategy? How are you going to solve it? Cadence? Add what? The width and length. Do I have to add every single side on perimeter? You have to go all the way around. Okay, think of a fence. If I didn't go all the way around my fence, I'm missing part of it, right? Okay, Hayden?
And there's another way. 30 plus 24, and then 30 plus 24 again. And then...
You could even do 30 plus 24 and then multiply that answer by 2, right? So there's a lot of ways to solve your math. So you get to pick a way that you like, okay? That's the beauty of this. All right, we're going to move on down. Number 3 we already solved. Number 4, this is a formula like kind of Josiah brought up when he said we could multiply. So I need all our eyes up here. Pencils in your hand. Keegan uses the formula perimeter equals 2 times length plus width to find the amount of fence he needs. Does his formula work? Why or why not? Noah?
It does work.
It does work. Okay, we're all going to work it out to see why. I realize I can tell we're having a sleepy morning. So if you're sleepy, sit up, okay? Put your feet flat on the floor and focus. All right, so let's just write out what that would be. Perimeter, we don't know it, so we just have a P. And then we have 2 times the length plus the width. So what's my length again, Hayden?
30.
30. Plus my width. What was my width on my rectangle? Noah? 24. All right, so now I'm just going to copy down my formula. I still need to do, remember, that means times. When you have a number right next to a parenthesis, it means times. So if you want to write the sign in there, it might help you. 30 and 24. I'm going to do some mental math. So I start at 30 and I add on 24. So in my brain I say 30, 40, 50. I went up 20 and I got 4 more, 54. So now 2 times 54 is our last step. And if this works, like Noah said he thinks it does, we should get the same answer. So 54 times 2, I'm going to do my turtle head math over here to the side. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 5 is 10. So it looks like it does work, okay? Any questions on that? Okay, now here's the deal. If you don't like using that formula, the P equals 2 times L plus W, you don't really have to when you're doing your work, okay? I'm fine with you just adding all the sides, but sometimes on a test, they might show it to you like that, so I want you to know what it means, okay? So we'll practice both ways a little bit. All right, now on number 5. Which formula do you think is easiest and why? This is all going to be different for all of us, right? We all take math a little differently. Me personally, when I was in 4th grade, I probably would have liked just adding up all my sides. Now, I like this better because I'm better with my multiplication facts. So if you're really good at multiplying, you might like this better, okay? It is up to you. So everybody, write your own answer. Do you think it's easier to add all the sides or to multiply? Okay? You tell me why.
Can you put mult for multiply?
Sure.
What do you mean by multiply?
Like this, they asked which formula is easier, this one or this one. It's just an opinion question. Do you prefer to add 2 lengths and 2 widths, or do you like to use 1 width and 1 length and then multiply by 2? So Angie, if you like this one better, then you just write, I like to add up all my sides. Okay? So you're not copying what I write. You have to write what you think. There's no right or wrong as long as you answer the question. Hayden, you want to share what you wrote?
I like adding because I add the equal numbers to make it easy.
All right, so Hayden likes to add them up together. Raise your hand if you agree with Hayden. You like adding all the sides. That's how I was in 4th grade. I liked that way the best. Who likes the formula where you multiply better? Couple people? Okay. All right, so as we keep learning perimeter, you can use the ways that you like the best, okay, unless it tells you otherwise. We are going to skip number 6.
Why?
And we're going to try number 7 and 8. So if you need your whiteboard for more space, you can use it, or you can try to fill things in the margins. That's fine as well. All right, number 7. Bianca is fencing in a garden. She wants the garden to be a rectangle 15 feet by 10 feet. How much fence does she need to buy to make her garden? First thing, okay, I'm going to make you guys all do this today. You have to draw the shape, okay? So it's a rectangle. We can all draw a rectangle. So squeeze it in anywhere you can. I'm going to stick it here. No, I'm not. I got to make it bigger, so I'm going to put mine up here so everyone at home can see it. All right, so there's my garden. She wants the garden to be a rectangle 15 feet by 10 feet. Okay, the length of a rectangle is always the long side, okay? Do they start both with an L, length and long? That's how you remember it. So the length of my rectangle, the long side, it will be 15 feet because that number is the biggest. So remember, length is long side. So if my length is 15 feet, what will my width be? Josiah?
10.
10. All right, now we just found all this information right out of our problem. 15 feet by 10 feet. And our question, how much fencing does she need to buy to make her garden? So we're not filling the whole thing in the middle with fence, that's area. We're going all the way around the outside edge. You can use whatever formula you like. I'm going to add all 4 of my numbers. So whichever way you decide, we need to write a P equals and write your formula. All right, I'm doing length plus width plus width. So if you're a little unsure, go ahead and do what I'm doing. If you're feeling confident, you can use the multiplication strategy.
Which one is multiplying and which one is addition?
This one is addition. Okay? So this one, Angie, for now I'd stick with this one. This one's easier to understand when you first begin. Okay? All right, so we don't know the P yet. We got to copy that down. My length, what's my length? Remember, length is long side. Hayden?
Your length is 15.
15. So I've got 15 plus 15 because I have 2 lengths. Plus, what's my width? Someone that hasn't answered in a while. I think you guys get it better than you're letting on. Liam?
10.
10. And we have 2 of them, so I need to write both of them down. All right, now we can solve to find the perimeter. If you can do this mental math in your head, fine. If you think you might make a mistake, write it to the side. I know that 15 and 15 make 30. And from 30, I can easily add on to 40 and to 50. So my perimeter all the way around my shape is 50 feet. So her fenced-in area for her garden has to be 50 feet of fence all the way around. All right, questions on number 7. All right, one more. Yes, Liam.
Where did you get the 50?
50. We added, so we wrote our lengths and our widths down, right? And then I added all 4 of those numbers together, and I got 50 feet. So if you need to, you can stack all your numbers down and add them stacked up, okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So number 8. Last problem. Do I have a reader? Read about Michael. Cadence?
Michael glues pipe cleaners around the edges of a rectangular poster. He uses a total of 14 pipe cleaners with 5 pipe cleaners each on the longer sides of the poster. How many pipe cleaners does he use for each of the shorter sides of the poster?
All right. So we need to mark up our problem. Pencils in hands. I'm not going to move on until you guys are all marking up your problem. Some of you are getting really good at this, and I've noticed improved scores on your tests. So if you want to improve, you've got to follow our strategies. All right, well, I can tell that the rectangle part's important, right? He uses 14 pipe cleaners total. And the long sides have 5. And our question, how many pipe cleaners does he use for the shorter sides of the poster? So first thing you want to do is what? Josiah?
Add 5.
Before we even add,
Oh,
what am I going to make you guys do?
draw a rectangle.
Yep, draw that picture. So squeeze it in somewhere. It doesn't have to be fancy. It just helps get your head in the right spot. All right, so the long sides. It says 5 pipe cleaners on the long sides. So our long sides is the length. So go ahead and put a 5 on both of your long sides. Okay, does everyone understand why we put these 5s where we put them? Okay, questions? You got to ask them now. Okay, now, did they tell us what the short sides will be?
No.
Is that what we have to figure out?
Yes.
Yes, it is. So, we know that our perimeter is actually 14 pipe cleaners. How do I know that that's my perimeter? Everyone think real hard about that. 14 total pipe cleaners. How is that my perimeter? Emma?
Because that's how many he uses.
That's how many total he uses, okay? So, I'm going to write my formula. So everyone write it with me. Perimeter equals length plus width plus width. And then we'll just fill in what we know. Do I know my perimeter this time? I sure do. It is 14. Okay. Do I know my length? Remember, length is the long side. Is that the one we know or the one we don't know? Hayden?
The one we know and the
It's
width we don't.
Right, so our length is 5. I have 2 of them. So for both of my lengths, I'll put 5s. I don't know my W. Can we just leave it as a W, Noah?
No, but you could see, like, 5 plus 5 is 10 right now. So what two numbers would make 4? And that's 2 and 2.
Okay. Well, for now, I'm going to put my W's here because I don't know what they are yet. So I can't add up my 5, so I'm just going to do that. 14 is 10 plus 2 widths. If I have 14 total, let's just think about the shape because I think that's getting too complicated. If I have 14 total, how many did my lengths use up? How many pipe cleaners? I know Hayden's got it. She's answering a lot of questions. Abby?
You have 14 pipe
I have 14 total. How many have I already used on my length? Abby?
cleaners. 10.
10 total, okay? So I have 14 pipe cleaners, and I'm going to subtract 10 to see what I have left. And I only have 4 left. Now, can I just say that my width is 4? Or do I have to split that 2 on each side? Think this through. Noah?
You have to divide the 4 by 2. And the number you get, that's the thing on the sides.
Correct. Now, this problem was a lot harder than the other ones. And tomorrow's lesson is all about this type of stuff, okay? But basic perimeter is all you're going to practice after this. So we are going to do one more basic perimeter problem. So you may put your book away. Please grab out your whiteboards. Those of you at home, if you need to pause real quick, grab your whiteboards, come back. And we are going to do one perimeter practice problem.
It's not hard anymore.
Thank you all for being quick on your whiteboards. All right, I'm going to put my work up in this white space. Those of you at home, I hope you can see it okay. You've got about 10 more seconds. I'm moving on without you. Let's go. Let's go. Whiteboard.
I can't have it anymore in my desk.
Big whiteboard. All right. Looks like we're ready. Okay, so when we do perimeter problems, you need to be drawing your shape. So first thing, draw a rectangle. And I'm going to give you the length and the width. The length, we're going to make it 12. The width, we're going to make 8.
Are we just making these up?
Yep. All right, and I'm going to say our label, we'll keep it with feet. So FT period is an abbreviation for feet. And then you need to write the formula every single time. The older you get in math, you have to write the formula you use at the top and then show how you fill it in. Purdue girls, is this correct? In math, you have to write your formulas, okay? So learn it now. No one taught me this when I was your age, and it would have helped me a lot. So our formula is P equals what? How do we write our formula? Josiah?
With, like, you add 12.
Add them all up?
Yeah.
Okay. So before you add your numbers, I need you to write that. I know it seems like an extra step, but it's important.
What's your width?
Shh. I am waiting on everyone to write down what I just put on the board. Hayden? All right. So once we've got this, you can go ahead and fill it in. Remember what I said. Is the opposite side going to be the same on a rectangle? Yes. So you can go ahead and copy your numbers across. We know they're the same. So I've got 2 lengths of 12 plus 2 widths of 8. And if I add those all together in whatever math way I want to, I will find my perimeter. So for me, I'm thinking 12 and 12 is 24. 8 plus 8 is 16. And then I can just add these two together real quick. So you can do your math however you would like to. Please check my work, make sure I didn't make a mistake. All right.
I
Yes.
have a question. What if someone's doing times? Can they do times?
Yep, you can do that. Just make sure. I'm going to model it this way for now, so you can do it at your seat that way. All right. Thank you, those of you at home. I will see you later. Have a wonderful day.